What's up everyone? If you want to support this channel, please click the join button and leave a comment below and a like. Here's a little take on an extended promo for UFC 262.
No slow start tonight for either fighter.
Good. Hey, don't
Fast starts have never been a problem for Michael Chandler. He always comes out at 100 miles an hour. That was a nice shot.
And it's all over! Just like that! Michael Chandler finishes Benson Henderson!
There clearly is a lot of speculation as to what you're going to do next. If you had your choice to decide whether or not you will re-sign with Bellator or if you're going to jump ship, go to the UFC, where is your heart at right now? What is it that you're hoping that will happen?
We're gonna make the best decision possible.
Michael Chandler, kind of a big name free agent, has said that he wants to come meet with you, wants to meet with the UFC. Is that a guy that you're interested in maybe bringing to the UFC?
I would love to meet with him. Yeah, the guy's earned it, man. I'd love to meet with him.
I'm a fan of the best fighters in the world getting together, and whatever we have to do to facilitate that, that's what I want to see happen.
Michael Chandler looks like he's going to the UFC.
We just signed Michael Chandler, and he is now part of the UFC family.
I want to get thrown into the lion's den. I want to get thrown into the shark-infested waters.
Michael Chandler is now the backup fighter for the title fight.
He's tapped. It looks like he's tapped.
Today, I want to say it was my last fight.
I want a top 5, top 6 guy right away.
The UFC's putting a lot of stock in on this kid.
This is the biggest mixed martial arts sports promotion in the entire world, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
You don't want your new toy to just sit on the shelf. You want him to be on display as early as possible. Ferguson kind of sees all the love that Chandler is getting, and he's like, you know what? I want to fight that guy. Let's do it December 12th. So they go to the UFC, say December 12th. UFC tells Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler's booked. He's fighting on January 23rd. Michael Chandler does an interview and says, I'll fight Tony Ferguson on January 23rd. Tony Ferguson says, hey, you're already booked. What are you talking about? And so there's all this confusion. In the end, he's like, you know what? I'm moving on. I'm going to go fight Charles Oliveira on December 12th at UFC 256.
I was the only guy to accept this fight, last minute. I knew it was going to be a really tough fight, but 2021, I'm coming.
No one has dominated him like that, and no one has made a better case at being the top contender in the lightweight division.
Without a doubt, no matter what, I mean, the guy's one of the best in the world right now in the nastiest division in the sport, so.
The boss already said whoever won this fight would be in a great position in first place to fight for the belt. And, when Conor and Poirier fight in January, I'm going to be watching. I'm going to just be waiting to see who's going to fight me.
So yesterday, speaking of hanging on every word, was your anticipated sit-down with Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Basically, the way that he feels right now is he's accomplished everything he's wanted to, he set out to accomplish. He thought that Oliveira looked really good in his last fight against Tony Ferguson. So next Saturday,
right,
we got the McGregor-Poirier fight and Chandler and Hooker on there. So his words to me were, I'm gonna watch this fight. He said I would never tie up the division.
Okay.
I would never tie up the division, hold the belt, and keep the belt away from anybody else. These guys do something spectacular. Show me something spectacular.
Wow.
And make me want to come back and fight. This fight with Poirier is trending bigger than the fight with you and Conor on pay-per-view. Imagine what you and Conor would do in another fight. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Saturday night, we're all going to go out there, put on a great show. Everybody buy that pay-per-view. Let's go.
Yeah, these guys are all going to fight it out, and we'll narrow it down to the 2 guys that will face off for the title.
I tell y'all this is the greatest moment in my professional life. Conor McGregor, surprise, surprise, there's a new king in the lightweight division. Dustin Poirier, your time is coming, and Khabib, if you ever do see fit to grace us with your presence back here in the UFC octagon, in your quest for 30, you gotta beat somebody. So beat me if you can. It's over.
Maximizing the debut. It's the landing. Michael Chandler, bonafide UFC lightweight contender.
That's why you paid the big bucks for Michael Chandler.
When guys come into the UFC for the first time, they usually have a rough, first time in the big stage. He didn't. Listen, man, when you get the platform that we had tonight you make the most of it. And that kid did. Some people did tonight and some didn't.
Khabib told me that he planned to meet with you here. What is the situation with lightweight title now?
Yeah, we're gonna have dinner on Saturday or Sunday. And then, you know, just talk and see.
You know, there's been a lot of talk about Chandler because of his big opening fight in the UFC. He's got this spectacular knockout of Hooker. There's a lot of talk about him fighting for the title soon.
Maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe it'll be a lackluster performance. All these things that human beings go through. We all go through these crazy thoughts. Why not just let it fly? Why not just believe that you are the best in the world? Why not just believe that you can accomplish great things? So you couldn't have scripted it any better. Listen to Dana say that, saying, you know, me and Dustin possibly for the title next. Who knows? Like, even the fact that I'm getting talked about at next fight being for the title. That being said, that's great news.
You mentioned that a fight with Michael Chandler doesn't really interest you at the moment. What does interest you? Would you rather just do a rematch with Conor? Would you like to look elsewhere? What does interest you?
I mean, a rematch with Conor interests me.
Khabib Nurmagomedov, the UFC lightweight champ, has made it official. We have seen the last fight from him.
Yeah, no, listen, I told you I was gonna hammer on him for a while and try to get him to come back and fight. We got together. We had some great talks. We talked about lots of things, and he's ready to retire. And I think he's done. I don't think he'll come back.
Khabib retired today. Are you all stunned? Khabib retired today.
Now, guys, that means we've got a vacancy in the lightweight division.
When a guy comes in from another organization like Chandler and just immediately jumps up to the top of the heap, but do you think it makes sense for him to fight for a title really quickly when there's all these guys like Charles Oliveira in particular that have had to pay their dues?
I'm not in a position to call it, but he just needs to cut his teeth in the UFC a little bit longer.
Is it safe to say that Dustin versus Conor 3 is kind of in the offing coming up?
You know, Dustin wants a rematch. That's smart. That's what he should do.
Conor Poirier was obvious.
He wanted, I should say the trilogy, fight with McGregor. He wanted that to happen, and he wanted that for a title. I think that's what he wanted. Not just the one before, but now this one.
And for Dana White to come in and make Chandler Oliveira, a fight we didn't know was in the works, Dana nailed this.
We end up with Michael Chandler versus Oliveira for the lightweight title. Did Khabib have any input into who was going to fight for the belt?
No.
This fight, Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler, is impossible to dislike.
Shit! Oh, he tapped it, trying to go back to fighting. Now a guy that can go with anybody, and those mental lapses that he would have before are of the past.
This guy continues to get it done.
He's found a way to stay calmer long, but I would still argue for you. He likes it right off the bat, particularly if he can catch you with something and catch you when you're dry. Getting pretty reckless with his hands and feet out there, and I mean reckless in a complimentary way.
There's the tap. Wow. Charles Oliveira does it again. Wow.
Oliveira doesn't have a weakness in his game either. You know, his stand-up is nasty as
Big right from Oliveira. Hammer fist. Charles two-props Oliveira. Doesn't wrap him up. He knocks him out.
These are two super elite lightweights. That fight is going to be amazing.
I've known that I could beat these guys literally for the last decade. I've known this.
Michael Chandler, he is good. Like, he really is good. He's very talented.
Really
he's
good.
Explosive. He's fast.
Powerful. He's got power in his hand. That was a nice shot.
It's all over.
Chandler does not have a fill-out process.
He's got the rear naked. That is tight. That is deep under the chin. And there's the tap.
I've been around all these guys, and I promise you they don't live their life like I do. I promise you they don't put the amount of work and emphasis into living the championship lifestyle like I do.
And once that fight hits the ground, people are going to realize how physically strong Michael Chandler is when he gets on top of people and just mauls.
Another big one, and he's hurt. He's hurt badly. Chandler letting go with the full-on ground and pound. Now giving up his back. Chandler, that's it. There's the tap.
You know, when you talk about getting the opportunity to fight for the UFC title, it's life-changing. It's a life-changing opportunity. It's time to get focused.